Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Season 8, Week 8. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am here with my co-caster, Todd Habercorn. Todd, how are you today?
Pretty good. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm excellent. I'm looking forward to this matchup we got on our hands, Legionnaires versus Pacifists. Taking a look at the overall rankings, this is a gold versus silver tier matchup, so the Pacifists definitely have some room to gain some MMR. In terms of MMR, they're looking at a 1200 to 1220 MMR difference, so they are pretty close. This is definitely Pacifist game to get into the gold. I think if they beat Legionnaires here, they'll swap with them and go into the gold ranking. I could be wrong on the overall ranks, but I think they're close enough where that's what would happen. But they've played quite a few matches, and I mean, I'm excited to see how these two are going to square off. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect from the Pacifists either. They're kind of a wild card. They are a team of very skilled players with some veterans on their team, but they don't really get casted too much.
Yeah.
So this is actually my first time casting them, so I'm holding back on any predictions and kind of letting it happen.
We are going to get into our pick bans right now because the lobby's up and players are getting ready. Coming in from Legionnaires, we have a Q1 ban. And I don't know if we have the ban from Pacifists yet. But we will try and get that. So Quarantine is going to be off of the table from Legionnaires. And to start things off, we're going to be firing it up with map number 1 on Subway, which I think is what the SMC map started off yesterday. I was kind of surprised to see Subway get picked by a diamond tier team like that, and I think we're starting to see that maybe trickle down to some of these other teams. I don't think I've seen Subway picked in quite a while in Season 8, so it should be fun to see how these guys poke and prod each other on this map with tons of entries, all over the place.
Yeah, especially after they revamped the whole map and added the whole downstairs, the whole new entrance that goes what people call the catwalk nowadays, apparently.
Yeah, well,
and just those 2 entrances alone, along with the basement entry, the extra entry down into the bottom level objective area, really shakes up the whole meta for this map, and we've seen some amazing stuff come out of it.
Before we dive into this first round, we can quickly take a look at the active roster for today. Coming in from Pacifists, we have Jamie, Whale, Sana, Axis Mundi, and Rexar. And I would just like to give a quick shout out to the Pacifists on the clean names, because boy, that is just a nice. It's easy to read, right in my. It's no signs, no markings, nothing. And then over on Legionnaires, okay, polar opposite, we have what you would consider to be K464N, but it's Kagan. We have Mayhow, Raider, Mr. Sirius, and El Vegas. The pretty standard Legionnaires squad over there. So Pacifists definitely got their work cut out for them here, going up against a bit of a powerful team that's got experience.
Oh yeah, and Legionnaires have been an established powerhouse throughout ever since like Season 3, I think. I want to say, and frankly have always been kind of like the staple of like pure competitive play. So really good match for Pacifists to have.
I think it is important to note that Pacifists are the away team, and I'm looking at the it's curious that Legionnaires picked Subway, because I'm looking at the map and are looking at the past scores of Pacifists, and against beginners they almost beat them on Subway. So Pacifists might have a decent shot at surprising Legionnaires on this first map.
Yeah, and if you specifically devote, if you're a new team and you devote time to practicing kind of an off-canter map, you can present yourself a serious advantage. As a matter of fact, I think that's kind of how the Danglers started asserting themselves, by practicing Tanker religiously and becoming the best team on Tanker, till everyone else started practicing Tanker in response.
I think you're going to see a lot of that too now that the new maps have been released with the most recent patch, which we are on. We're on the newest build, so you might see a little bit of difference in how the smokes appear. But in the most recent patch, we've had a ton, all the maps that have been out of the rotation, like Snow Peak and Jungle, which is still, I think, a contested to be in the in competitive scene. Abandoned, and now the new map Turbine. There's a lot of new potential, within the potentially. I would say next season, more likely, you'll start to see all those new maps really start to get put into to the league, but I'm no league mod. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here to cast, and that's exactly what we're going to do as we get into round 1 of map 1 in this Legionnaires vs. Pacifist series. Amen indeed.
Amen.
We just want to see some good action, right, Todd?
Yes. That is why we do it.
Rexar tucking in behind Soda Machine. He'll be watching the south. Take a look at the entirety of Legionnaires. They have all opted to go in the new downstairs route. I think Sonic can hear this beneath him, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a little challenging because it's like almost as if there's like layers in the map that like filter sound down, but they might let a little bit through. It depends on how the devs have specifically designed it to be.
If he is aware, Mayhem and Mr. Sirius might find it a bit challenging to come out of this doorway, since he has his eyes trained pretty tight on that. Meanwhile, the rest of the Legionnaires squad has opted to take the long route down into the subway as they exit out. No harm, no foul. Sometimes you'll see C4 placed here at this doorway, but no defenders actually defending down here.
Yeah, Pacifists, I guess, are choosing to be a bit more tighter on objective, not risk having a person too far off. Because they know Legionnaires are quick caps. They have the practice.
Vegas is going to drop back and regroup with his teammates. Hopefully that doesn't result in a team kill or miscommunication. I think it's a little bit risky to leave the subway open like this, just because you have these stairs that they are going to be taking advantage of, and Kagan can just gently peek his head up here, take some looks at where if he sees any defenders, they can take some pretty easy shots just over the rail. It's a hard spot to really defend, I think, although granted you are exposed because you don't really have anything to cover. So we'll see how they approach. I think Kagan and Radar are going to split the sides and go to each stair apiece.
And that split can be really crucial. It allows you to put the pressure on both sides and really have to draw the defense away from their hiding spots, because then they have to defend from two places at the same time, which, I don't know if you played the game, but that can be really challenging.
Take a look at Axis Mundi real quick. Go on board him. He's trying to look for some sort of flank. This is super risky at this level, at this tier of competitive gameplay, to have a defender up basically back at the spawn now. You're risking the chance of getting capped on here on objective. They're lucky that Mr. Sirius and Kagan haven't really pushed, because it is basically a 4v5 right now.
And a lot of newer teams like to play out there, or they like to have people on their teams that are flankers, mainly because when you have newer players, it's the one thing that they know that they can do well is kind of wreak havoc. And as you mature, you begin to find spots where you can just hang out and wait for the action to come to you and be really effective there. But for, like I said, newer people like to flank because they can force the action. I
get the flank if it had happened way earlier. He would be able to come up on the backside of the Legionnaires. Yeah. But all 5 of them have made their way into the subway. Here come the smokes right on time, 2:40 onto the clock. They're going to smoke out both stairs.
And a really quick gander to what I'm seeing, Vegas is actually going back downstairs. He might actually get caught up by the flank if Axis Mundi actually chooses to go.
He's not moving, though. He's so far away. He's not pushing fast enough. Whale, fortunate enough to catch Raider. He's tucked himself back into the darkness, so he's hard to identify in that tunnel there. And I think that's what Sana has done as well, although he's a little bit easier to see with that train as shots through the smoke coming in from Jamie give away his position. And now Sana catching one. Can he get 2? Rexar catches one. Kagan getting shot in the back. Vegas now a little bit concerned as he has shots coming in from both his left and right. He's trained on to Rexar. Good pickup there. Nice refrag.
Being able to shut down that flank is so crucial for Legionnaires at this point. They're now down to 1 person as Malmo goes down.
Axis is here.
Monday.
I didn't think we'd see him, Todd.
He slipped under me.
He's here. He's confirming kills. Vegas is still alive, though. The last one, and he's looking for Mundi.
Man, he's got 4 people to take out if he wants to probably even get close to objective. They've got this whole area as a kill box. This whole second level, I should say. No wonder Pacifists were able to beat this map on beginners, right? You said?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, they got real close. It was 4-3 at the end. Beginners still did take it. Vegas here catches one, can't get another as Jamie pushes the advantage, and Pacifists, yeah, they're looking great on defense here. That was a nice defensive setup as they take the lead 1-0.
I'm not going to lie. That setup looked a little
too spread.
Amateur.
Yeah, I agree.
People were getting into positions a little bit slower than I would have thought because they weren't trying to take that real estate before Marsaw could have possibly taken it back. Axis Mundi, he was taking it really slowly, and he was so far away from objective. I was like, this is going to be the guy who gives up a cap.
Yeah, right.
That's out of nowhere. I wasn't even focused on him. I just kind of kept it in the back of my mind thinking, oh, I got to recall to this if they cap.
he was still almost too late. You know, he got one pickup in the back. I think it was even a confirm. I don't know if he got the kill. The rest of his team sort of already dealt with the rest of the team had mostly dealt with that push that as they tried to come out the stairs.
Well, he did force the rest of Legionnaires to have to make the move because after he basically revealed his position, they knew that they were completely surrounded and that being on the staircase was no longer an option. So it's a good way to force the team to have to basically move out of these safety stairwells, because the stairway is your only escape route if you choose to go deep down in the tunnel like Legionnaires did.
I think we should maybe just believe in Pacifist strategy a little bit more on Subway here, because obviously it worked out.
I am sorry, dear Jamie.
Also, to Legionnaires' credit, they were kind of sitting in that stairwell for a good 30 to 40 seconds. It felt like.
Yeah, they wanted to play that match slower, and I don't blame them. Subway is a very close range map. Sometimes you have to slow down the action if you want to be, precise.
We'll see if Pacifists keep it slow as they go on to the offensive in round 2 of map 1. Legionnaires gonna have to answer back with a defensive round of their own. Gonna see what setup they go. I expect it to be a little bit tighter maybe, but I don't know. I get you when you think about the defensive spread of the Pacifists, it was good. They had Sauna in the back, they had another one in the tunnel. They were all around objective really. It was just that one that was kind of going on that heavy flank. I don't know how I feel about stacking the tunnel. The train.
Axis. Oh, hang on. Oh yes, Axis might be encountering someone really soon, depending on what route he takes. He is once again flanking. It seems to be kind of his gig. I think Kagan.
I mean, that's from the spawn.
That is true, but it's kind of a flank. He's going lone shark. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. This is, I think you have to take these stairs here. They give you so much line of sight down onto the objective, and if he can, I don't think he'll have any eyes on the Kagan. Yeah, Kagan's inside a little an alleyway there, but he might be able to spot someone and train. I don't know if he'll get any shots off here from the stair.
If he does, he could just control the objective straight from the stairway.
Yeah.
Like, there are 2 members of Legionnaires that will have to cross his line of fire if they want to get back to objective. If he just waits there, they're pretty much met. I can't even describe that properly on this channel, but he is progressing too far, and this might be his mistake, as Kagan is literally next door.
I'm sure he's aware of it. He is staying quiet. I don't think he's bumped into anything. I don't think any footsteps have gone off. I don't think any mic pops have happened. Kagan's trained in here, though. The peek comes from Mundy, and it surprises him. Down goes one, but now the shots are out.
I'm not even sure how Kagan didn't see that coming. Like, you can hear crawling, like slightly.
You can go full silent if you're slow enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's what Mundy did, and I think Kagan was also looking underneath the ramp. He was so focused on underneath, he didn't pay attention to above, and here comes the push from Pacifist a lot earlier. 3:40 on the clock. Jamie downs one with the pistol. It leaves Mr. Serious all alone in this lane as he tries to deal with Rexstar, who picks him off, and this push is coming in full force. Downer going Legionnaires. This is an excellent push as Mundy finds the final kill, and Pacifists take the lead 2-0.
What is going on here?
I know,
predicting Legionnaires like having some kind of a competitive advantage, but that's gone out the window.
Yeah, Pacifists are just looking so good on this map. It's a real big misstep in my opinion on Legionnaires' part because they picked Subway. If you go back and do your homework, look at the team, see how they've played in the past, see what they've been doing good on recently, they would have known Subway. They're obviously strong on it. They gave beginners a run for their money 4-3. And beginners don't really give up the third map very often. They'll fight you for it. So that's definitely a testament to how skilled Pacifists are here, and it's obviously showing off. As that push was excellently coordinated, perfect. I mean, they're looking like a real strong team right now.
And I casted Legionnaires versus Animal House, another good team. Legionnaires can defend on this map. They can fight on this map. They're not inexperienced here. So what Pacifists are doing, it may seem like Legionnaires just haven't done their homework on this map in particular, but they have. Pacifists just know it way more. And the coordination too. If now I'm thinking about it, it's incredible. Like we're seeing smokes go out at the same time, and everyone's condensing at the same time. We will have the upstairs objective next. Be very interesting because it's kind of a very different objective.
It's a totally different spin on the subway map, really. I mean, you gotta consider taking night vision up here.
Oh yeah, well it used to be in the case back in the remember the first lighting revamp that they did where they made everything as dark as possible. That night vision was pretty much a must. But now they've lit it up to like city lights, and so you don't have to, but it's still strongly recommended.
I definitely think we're gonna see, at least from the Pacifists, another shield user coming out here for this objective when they go on the offensive. Be curious to see if Legionnaires go with it, because you can do the laser sight night vision for this upstairs objective.
Oh yeah, definitely with the shield on the alleyway over here. It's so effective because you can't really flank around it unless you go around the entire map. So or if you use nades, but for all intents and purposes, you're not going to be getting around that shield unless you forcibly force your way over around it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some interesting tease changes that I think are kind of cool, where you'll eventually have trouble seeing through your broken glass because the glass will kind of take some bullet damage. I think that's kind of an interesting way to balance how strong the shield is right now, because it's definitely something, when used properly, that, like you said, it's just so hard to counter.
Yeah, I think the main counter to a shield right now is fighting in daylight, but because you can't use that laser sighted pistol with night vision, because the night vision's been balanced now to the point where if you use it in daylight, you can only look at shadows. Or maybe a Volk if he appears, but you're not going to be able to train a laser sight because you can't see the rest of the beam. People are using flashlights though in daytime, so they don't even use the night vision, but I'd actually make the argument that shields are pretty balanced. It's just people are good at using them.
Early kills as they got that quick spawn on the south. A nade from Jamie, though. Downs both. They are resible. Mundy tries to flash. I'm surprised he doesn't peek, and there's no more follow-up nades here, fortunately enough for Legionnaires. Oof. They're in such a dangerous spot. They're really lucky that no more Pacifists are coming up here to toss any more nades, and that Mr. Serious is in a position to defend the flank from Razor, which I don't think is going to happen. He's going to stay tucked in, and Legionnaires are pushing this in pretty quickly. Caben and El Vegas making their way up on one side while the shield pushes another, and Legionnaires using that shield.
That is such a good spot for defending against the shield. If you just wait for the shield to go past you, you can catch him out cold turkey.
Bit of a firefight on the corner as Vegas shoots. Mr. Serious here making his way.
The question is, will Rexar wait for it? Oh, he can do it right now. I think he will. Yep, there's a free shield right there.
Good shots from Mayhow, refragging Rexar, and now we're into a 3v3. Trading going on this long lane. Vegas and Kagan have fought hard to try and push up along it, but now they've lost their flank, and Whale trading there with Vegas gives it all up to Kagan. He has Sana flanking him ever so slowly on the backside. If he pushes hard and takes Mundy, though, he'll have an open objective.
Mundy's in such a powerful spot.
This is a good adjustment.
It's kind of hard, but he has given away his position, which kind of gives which is why that spot is actually so powerful. It's because of the it's so hard to peek. But Sana's actually coming around back.
Yeah. I don't think Kagan's going to be ready for that. Sana's still taking his time, but so is Kagan with the slow crawl here. And I imagine, unless that happens, that Sana would have won. But Pacifists, I mean, they're looking at map point right now, 4-0 potentially on Legionnaires.
That's a pretty incredible feat. Even on Subway, which I know Legionnaires have played before. So it's nothing short. And Pacifists are right now, at least on Subway, are looking like a
Really
team to
good.
watch out for.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely danger town right now, and Legionnaires are gonna have to. I mean, what are you gonna do? Because Pacifists have map pick for map number 2, so
Yeah.
odds are not working in Legionnaires' favor right now.
No, they didn't do their homework, and now they're getting punished severely for it. And the Pacifists are actually attacking
maybe they did,
an objective that's
I don't know.
very attackable.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Legionnaires were feeling good on Subway. Maybe they had done the practice, and Pacifists are just proving to be the stronger team on this map. We'll see. You know, Legionnaires have an opportunity to grab a defensive round here. Upstairs isn't exactly the easiest to defend, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it is not. There's so many points that you could get capped on from that you really can't like tuck in and watch from. Like you got the boxes.
You have a lot of weird spots you can take up, where you can get a nice angle, but you could be vulnerable to a cap from a different position. So it's definitely a teamwork. I mean, as all objectives are, you know, you require your team to hold all sorts of different angles, but this one in particular, you really need to make sure. I mean, what you tend to see is instead of staying around objective, players push out on defense and defend the lanes instead. We'll see if that happens here.
It's one of those weird objectives where you kind of forced to push out and defend the lanes, but you have to be watching your tablet, otherwise you can get messed up and get a capped on. You know, get capped on. That's how you pronounce that.
Syntax is tough, but yeah, this is a completely different Legionnaires defense in comparison to the Pacifists. They are staying tight around objective, like we were just saying. Raider really the only one that's far out here, and he's just going to wait for this push down the lane. I'd say at this point, most teams are kind of expecting somebody to be on the left or right when you come down these stairs.
Yeah, we're having a 3-2 push with a 2 in the north and 3 in the south. Jamie's leading the charge with a shield here. Once again, seeing the shield play, but no one is defending from that cheeky spot where we saw Rexar, I believe, catch out the last shield person, which I believe was Mr. Sirius. Is Jamie using his laser? He has his night vision on. He does have a laser. Okay, yeah. See, we casters don't get granted night vision.
Yeah,
we just get a flashlight. low budget production.
Raider.
Jamie's making the exact opposite mistake.
I mean, he's checking that side. He would see Raider here. Basically, Raider's holding the angle where he's going to wait for them to come down the stairs, and then he's going to shoot. Oh, there's also C4 here. Where did the C4 plant? Why is Raider holding on to it? I thought I saw the C4 get planted on the other side of the map. Kagan finds one. Rexar tries to come around. There's the C4 detonation. Catches out Rexar. The nade denying the res possibility. And Jamie now in a bit of a firefight finds Raider as another kill went off across the other side of the map. Whale is pushing in kind of close as well.
Yeah, with a 3-2 and another C4. But it only down, so I think there is a res potential.
The C4 from Legionnaire is really effective right now. Nice denial onto Sana. Whale's here with a trade onto Kagan. Now it's all up to Jamie into a 1v2. I don't think he's expecting Vegas in this corner.
I don't think he is. He isn't looking, but Vegas doesn't even look.
What? Oh, the patience. The patience from Vegas. He doesn't take shots he was afraid missing and then waits until he can get the exact shot he needs. And Legionnaires hang on and grab themselves a defensive round, 1-3. I mean, Pacifists are playing this quick, dude.
They are. They are giving Legionnaires time to set up, which is good because on this map, you know, it's completely lanular. It's not like Downfall where it's an open map. Like, there are routes that you must take, and the enemy know that just as well. So getting as much real estate as you can gives you more opportunities to set up and more places to set up.
Well, we got a little downtime. Shout out to everybody in chat. Thank you for tuning in today. It's been a lot of action here on the Master League 1. I think we've had a couple of games on 2 and 3 as well today. If you are new, hit that follow button. We do games pretty much almost daily here on the in the VRML. And if you want to join, you can head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward, where you can sign up for the league. I highly recommend it. It's a good time.
At least join the Discord and have a good time with us.
It's a rowdy bunch. You have been warned.
Trolly too.
But we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you remember a reminder that if you have Twitch Prime, to use that free subscription every month. If you haven't re-upped your Twitch Prime sub, feel free to drop it on the VRML stream. You'll get a nice little logo, do we have actually?
Get a little icon.
Yeah, we have an icon, right?
I think we do.
I don't know actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, you get to use the emotes, like the cap.
Oh yeah, we have the clutch, the Dante. We have a bunch of emotes. I forgot about the clutch.
Made by our very own Pink Stingray.
Yeah, how could I forget? Excellent emotes, appreciate that. We are back into the action for round number 5 of map number 1 here. Legionnaires going on the offense, and we have what was a very toxic objective that's now a lot harder to attack for Marsoc. As you can see, the spawn point from Pacifists allows them to get up into this position where they can dump nades down this lane.
And all the Legionnaires, like all 5 of them, have stopped on this lane on the north side.
Yeah, they know. They're aware of those early nade strats. They don't want to go down to any of those. As one does come dropping in, Raider almost gets picked up. And it's odd to not see Mr. Sirius in the lead here with the shield.
Yeah, he's the guy most equipped to take on this lane.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, lead your people. Now his shield is levitating slightly above the ground. Will Rexar see that? Or Sauna see that? Sorry, I can't read his name that far away.
No, I don't think he'll even get an opportunity to peek. There's so many rifles and eyes trained onto this corner that as soon as he pops his head around, he's going to be in trouble. He's decided to opt back for an angle he can hold.
Yeah. Ooh, the nade's coming out now, but he's retreated so far that won't be effective at all.
I think all the utility has been used by Pacifists too, so you're not going to see any more nades coming in. I think we saw a total of like 4 nades and a flash get thrown down this lane with nothing for it.
Sauna is holding an angle right above, ooh.
Yeah.
Cheeky, but Mr. Sirius knew exactly what was going on. Shut that opportunity down.
Now
he's talking about a C4.
Yeah, I think he is too. Now they need their nades right here. Oh, I see the C4 up there on the top of the ledge.
There's 2 of them, actually.
Yep.
Cheeky. Hopefully, Legionnaires haven't heard about that at all. But these C4s are so far up, I don't think they're going to be able to defuse it without
Sirius
using
could.
lead.
Sirius could push out with the shield and pistol those C4 down, I think. But I mean, you really got to look up, and that one on the brick is going to be tough to ID. Here comes the push, and this could be bad news for them.
He's not even looking. Oh, and 2 go down, but they're both still resable.
Yeah, and both C4 did go off. The push from Mundy to try and find the follow-up frags doesn't work. Rexar there on the corner catches the refrag as the revive comes in, and now there's 3 on the corner again. They're sort of reinforcing each other. As one goes down, another one comes up and takes his place.
The retreat happens to objective, which is really good, because at this point, you want to defend that. But I think all of the remaining Legionnaires, yeah, they're all going for this north push. The question is, did they get a count off of how many people are attacking them?
In the corner.
2:20 on the clock, so Legionnaires not exactly pressed for time.
It is looming, though.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of utility they have left. Ooh,
We also
nice
have
nade.
seen that Legionnaires. Ooh, that is nice. Oh, and it works!
All right,
I
now
think
say
he
what
tried
you're
to hide
trying to
behind
say.
Legionnaires have been playing Subway a lot slower, so they're gonna find before. Yeah, they're calling it out too. Like, you got 2 minutes, but they're gonna find soon enough that that 2 minutes is gonna be beeping at them in 30 seconds. Jamie gets tagged down by Maoho and confirmed by Raider.
Yikes.
This is not the situation you want to be in if you're pacifist. You have one person left, and you got 4 members of Legionnaires still up, and a shield, let alone. Yeah, that might have been the best option.
I do think it was. Now they get to go on the attack on this objective. It's not the easiest to defend, but it's a different one to defend. I think if they had used their utility just a little bit differently, if they had saved those nades and been patient with them, maybe they could have caught some more kills with it. But I liked the C4 play, a nice attempt at denying the push. But, I mean, what perseverance from Legionnaires to just power through that lane, all those utility, all those nades. They didn't turn around and go a different direction.
They just took it really slowly. They kind of went behind the shield. They waited for all like the cheeky, you know, the standard attacks to happen. Let them use up all their utility, and then push through once they didn't have that utility at their disposal, which was really good of them. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a really fast map out of Pacifists though, so. We might not see booby traps out of Legionnaires because they might just not have the time to set it up.
Yeah, I mean, think about the other objectives to defend here. You have, I think it's just the basement subway objective that's left. So definitely one that if they decide, if they push here, get a little aggressive, lose their Marsoc round, they're going to go on the defensive in an objective that's a lot easier to hang on to than this one. But yeah, I'm curious to see how they push.
Yeah.
This can hear this round because you know they're gonna rush because
This could be a really tight round.
Yeah. This match is shaping up to be quite a good one. I'm glad we tuned into it this afternoon.
Yes.
A nice battle between Legionnaires and Pacifists right now.
Let's just bait out their nades first. Wait until they throw in the nades and shit like that.
I forgot. So pacifists are EU. Is this Button Cup?
No.
No, it's not. Okay.
Legionnaires are
American.
East.
You're even counting out the C4s as they go off. That's. I guess the specialist has like a certain kind of advantage on this map, or at least that people see at least. I've never really used specialist too much, aside from the shield. So I don't really know too much about the Volk advantage with specialist, but it'd be interesting to look into.
See here, Legionnaires not using up any utility early down this lane. It does kind of probably put Jamie and Sana a little bit on edge as they do sort of inch their way down here. Jamie leading the way with the shield. He'll be able to deny any nades if they drop in. And you can just tell they're a little bit nervous as they're not pushing up. They're waiting for Sana to toss a nade out of his own.
And neither of them have really set up any kind of
Whoa.
booby traps that I could see. Like, I don't see any.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any C4 either.
I think it is still legal to throw C4 into the dumpster. I think I've heard about that, but I've never tried it.
Not seeing any in there either. Kagan is going to take some shots at Jamie with the shield on the corner, and now I would expect some utility to come out, and maybe that's why Sana is pushing so aggressively. A nade tossed a bit too far. I don't think that flash is going to be too successful. Actually, it was. Kagan's blind.
And the north side got cleared off of a trade.
I thought that flash was just a bit too far. Apparently not. Nicely done there by Jamie L. Vegas catching Whale trying to flank. And look at this interesting move coming in from Axis Mundi, who gets picked off by Vegas as well. They were trying to push in from the south, but Mundi, Vegas there just to hold them off. And now we're sort of into a 2v2 on objective, and Vegas is going to need to rotate around pretty soon.
Uh-oh. Gathering some utility before they make a push down, and quite frankly, I think it's their... I think they probably need to stock up on the most, because they did use a lot of utility pushing up onto this stairwell here.
Yeah.
But Jamie is beginning his approach. And a good nade for someone in the corner, but unfortunately no one was stationed there.
Gotta hope his feet are not exposed as he goes down here. Mr. Serious takes some shots, hits him once, hits him again. The feet not fully covered going down the stairs, and now it's going to be a real tough job for Rexar.
Rexar's choosing to go about it the classic way, but the smoke is bad.
Did not get the angle. Yeah.
So he's actually opted to go on a rotation instead, or at least loot.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go,
rotation.
yeah, the new middle catwalk entryway.
And it's quite frankly his best bet. Oh, but Raider has naded himself, bringing it down to a 2v1.
That's pretty huge. I mean, if Rexar can manage to grab Vegas out here in the middle, it's going to be an interesting push.
And the push that he's coming from is probably the optimal one if you're just trying to get picks, because you bring the distance back into the game, and if you already know where people are going to be, Marstock has the peeker's advantage.
Ooh, I don't know if he saw Vegas. Vegas hears moves. Rexar spots him. The win. I was going to say the win for Rexar, but no, it goes to Vegas, and Legionnaires are hanging in there. 3 unanswered points to tie it back up, 3-3.
Legionnaires have finally understood the dance that Pacifists do, and I think they're responding quite nicely. This is one of the things that Legionnaires are very capable of doing, is just matching the play style of teams that they go up against and being able to counter it very effectively.
Yeah, it's something you definitely sort of develop after playing for so long together. We'll see if Pacifists can manage to rally a little bit here, since they are looking at map point, both teams looking at map point really, and they are going to be defending on that downstairs objective like we were talking about earlier. So new entry points have been made available to it, but at the same time, I still think it's probably the easier one to defend.
Yeah, especially since you can just control those 2 staircases. It used to be that it was just almost impossible to get into, but now with that 3rd entrance, it's actually the meta to almost always take that 3rd entrance. It's just you could slug it out a lot easier there, because before, depending on which way you go, you'd have people watching those staircases, and those staircases are so well covered, it's almost impossible to take the picks on the people who are hiding in the staircases, let alone in the tracks, in the car. There's just so many places to defend on this one, so it's really good that they added an entryway to kind of throw a new knot into the loop for the Volk. Because this map used to be, back when there was only 2 entrances, a very Volk-biased map. Like, if you chose Subway, you have to be really good, because if you're choosing Subway, you're going Marsoc. That's just how it goes. And the other team's like, okay, we'll take that win. So no one ever chose Subway in League play.
Definitely a more competitively viable map now. And I do expect to see a lot of C4 getting used here on Pacifist's side. But it's going to be tough for Legionnaires to come in and break through, and both teams taking their time between the rounds here to hash out the strategy. Nobody's going to start early. They're going to make use of that 1.5-minute timer to sort of make sure everybody's on the same page.
Just like that, we're popping into, what is this, round 7, right?
Yeah, do the math.
I didn't know if we had a cap or not.
Gotta do the math, but yeah, no caps. It's all been battles to the death.
Close calls, though.
Yeah, real close calls. A couple of 2v1s, a couple of 1v1s. But yeah, here we are, the final round of Subway. Pacifists and Legionnaires competing for map point. This is pretty aggressive from Pacifists right here.
Yeah, they're really spreading out, at least on the bottom floor. There's not too much cover in those stairwells, though, so that's kind of leaving it open. It seems like Legionnaires are actually... Oh, no, Legionnaires are also opting to go bottom floor. But they have Vegas, who's just right there.
I mean, yeah, you could be walking down the stairs right now. They only have, like, one eye on objective, honestly. This is an interesting spread from Pacifists. They are trying to catch out early moves from Legionnaires.
I'm tracking like Vegas's potential route here, and all he has to do is kill one person, and he could potentially cap. There's only one person really who has view of whatever Vegas is going to do.
The shield there, shots from the pistol, almost tagging Jamie. I wonder if they're going to be ready for Sana here as the nade comes out. Sirius tucks in. Should be able to deny that. A nade on the backside gets thrown out. One goes down. The trade here with the pistol. Mr. Sirius catches one. Can he get another? No. Sana dumping back into the corner. And here we are into a 4v4. Mundy finding one. Siana pushing in, trying to get Sirius overwhelmed, but the shots from Kagan on the backside supporting Sirius. And now we're into a 3v3.
3v3, and the score is 3-3. But...
Threes across the board.
How many threes can we have?
Yeah.
3.
Maybe a push in 3 minutes.
Yes. 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Now, the rotations have come out of Pacifists, so there are effectively 3 people inside inside the main subway station here, I'll call it that.
Yeah, they don't have the greatest of I mean, you can have a lot better coverage of this exit way, in my opinion, but right now they're really kind of just relying on Mundy, who's holding an interesting angle, not a tight enough one, because they should be able to spot him through the grates there in the fence if they wanted to, so see if he gets caught out here as Mr. Sirius is going to push forward.
Sirius doesn't see anything yet. I think Mundy's waiting for that opportunity to just arrive. Okay. Mundy gave away his position, but Rexar with the rotation.
How did Sirius get tagged there? So unfortunate. I think Sirius was turning to respond to Raider and expose his side just a little bit. A huge pickup there, and I'm surprised Raider's not grabbing the shield for himself to try and get an angle.
In an even harder angle to catch out for Raider. But Raider's not even focused on that. Look at that.
Yeah. Kagan finds Whale. We're back into a 2v2.
But keep in mind, Axis rotated pretty silently while all the commotion was going on. They might not even be aware of that rotation.
Oh, they're aware. Raider peeking while the revive comes in from Wales. So really nicely timed for Pacifists. We're still into a 2v2. Minute 50 on the clock. Let's hush up and listen to Legionnaires.
Yeah.
Okay, you got one down here, right? Yeah, okay, this is the last guy. This is the last guy. I got smoke. I see him.
Gonna interrupt for a little bit. Their kill count is off.
Yeah. I think they have an extra one, but they don't, so that might give them a bit of false confidence. Rexar might be able to find one as shots from Radar do come out. One goes down, Whale on the corner. Now they start pushing forward a bit too quick. Legionnaires, though, take the round as Raider finds the refrag. 4-3 with 4 unanswered points.
Yeah, the reverse sweep just happened.
Yep, sure did. I'm curious if this happened to them against beginners too. You know, because it was also a 4-3 scoreline on Subway, so maybe they also took a lead and couldn't finish it off. But it is going into their map pick for map number 2, fortunately enough for them. So now that they've got Legionnaires, I guess, a little bit on the back foot, they're going to have to try and regain some of the momentum with a map pick and an early round win.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Well, what did you say the MMRs were again? I completely forgot.
What was that?
I should be looking this up. I was just wondering about the MMRs. Like,
Oh, it's
we need
1220
to
to 1200, so it is a very close, tight MMR matchup.
yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there could be a trade-off here still, I think.
I think for map number 2, we are going to be swinging over into Bazaar.
A fan favorite.
Nope.
What would Onward be without Bazaar?
A lot less wooden, that's for sure. I feel like 95% of the wood is in the Bazaar map. Take a look at the rosters. No subs coming in for either side. Nothing crazy going on with the Volk and Marsoc swapping either, so Pacifists will be starting on Marsoc, Legionnaires on Volk. This is Pacifist map pick. They have to win this if they want to keep the series and push it to a best of 3. I mean, we don't know what Pacifist ban is yet. Well, I mean, still, they just never reported it to us, but
Mystery ban.
yeah, Q1 is off the table.
We'll have to what? It's speculate.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
We could, or hope that it's downfall that's off the table. From a catch
Why are we hoping?
perspective.
I actually like
yeah, I
basketball.
suppose. It's been a little bit better
There's
lately,
some
but
fun.
I don't like it. I don't like watching it.
Well, that's just you.
It absolutely is.
Stop putting your bias into this, man.
I think I'm perfectly allowed to. I'm the one casting the
No,
games.
no one wants to hear your opinions.
I think that's the whole point of
No.
casts.
Nah, dude, only the facts. That's what I do. Just the facts.
Wow.
Like, Snow Peak sucks. That's a fact. I'm kidding. Snow Peak's actually a pretty cool map.
Yeah, I'm fine that. I think with Quarantine down, I wouldn't be surprised if Downfall was banned. It would leave a couple of interesting maps on the table, like Suburbia and Cargo is still playable. So a lot of close quarters maps still available. But if I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Suburbia has been banned and we go to Downfall for map 3. Although Legionnaires, trying to think if they would want. I think they'd prefer the closer quarters.
See, I'm looking at. I'm just trying to understand the pacifist mindset here, what they would ban, and I'm looking at Legionnaire scores, and
I'd be banning
they're just.
Cargo or Subway or Suburbia.
Cargo's not actually really one of Legionnaire's strong maps. It's actually one of their weaker ones. I think they just get kind of lucky with it. They only have a 45% win rate. But it's like Legionnaires are just one of those teams that they are just good on every map.
Yeah, they might have a 43% win rate, but they've played that map almost every series. Like
Yeah.
I think at some point, you know, after because you played so many rounds, your win rate gets a little bit soiled. But we'll see how Legionnaires do on Bazaar, which is where we're at right now, round 1, map 2, as they go on the defense.
And this isn't quick spawn, so they have more ground to make up than the defense do. I mean, I'm talking about the offense here. I should have specified that, but
They checked for the quick spawn, didn't see it, dropped back into standard defensive positions now. Do have that one kind of forward on the east here. El Vegas in an interesting spot.
yeah, he's hiding behind that wood. It doesn't provide completely bulletproof cover. Vegas actually, I'm sorry, Vegas gets tagged by Jamie.
Yeah, it looked like a really easy kill. Jamie just ran up to the corner, instantly saw him, and took him down. So maybe Vegas just wasn't tucked in as tight as he thought he was.
It's gotta. Sometimes that booty be thick, you know.
Mhm.
Just you gotta watch out for that.
Nice pickup for Raider, though, on the opposite side in the north, getting shut down. So now I think we can focus most of our attention over onto the east and middle as well, and Rexar has tried to make their approach up the center.
Rexar is looking for Raider. I can see that by his laser, but it just
Yeah, I think Raider's
Raider-
tucked
Ra-
inside the back of that courtyard there.
he rotated just around that piece of wood, but that provides him so much more protection now.
Smoke on the east, drawing a lot of lines of sight over there. You see Kagan, Mayhow, Sirius all sort of trained on the east, which has opened up the middle for Whale and Rexar to inch their way forward. Whale's inside objective courtyard now. Finds one.
It's really only Kagan really having eyes on objective as of right now. Well, I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. Mr. Sirius is there. He's hiding.
Yep, he's tucked in. He does get the kill onto Whale as he tries to push into the blue room. Jamie able to cross in the commotion, so he might be peeking out of the blue room soon as well. And Sana also getting over into a nice spot where he's going to have some good lines of sight into objective courtyard while the rest of his team inches their way forward.
Ooh, and oh, that would be so good if that was a frag, but it's
Yeah.
a smoke. And it's pointing the wrong way as well. Jamie finds Mr. Sirius a very crucial pick, as he is one of the two people only watching objective.
Kagan's
The
got
rotation
eyes
is
on.
coming out of Raider. Raider is rotating into a place that kind of boxes in the objective. It's actually really cheeky using that tunnel.
Sana here, the last one alive, goes down to Kagan in a trade, and Pacifists cannot take the first round here as Legionnaires go up 1-0. I think that is now 5 unanswered points.
Yeah, the streak continues on Pacifist map, actually. But who knows? Maybe on Pacifist map, Legionnaires will take the first 3 points, and then Pacifists will come back 4. You know, could just see the reverse subway. We are going to see the same objective again as always because we have mirroring objectives. It'll be interesting to see how Legionnaires approach this, even if they get like the quick spawn.
Yeah, I don't anticipate an entirely quick pace out of them, since slowing it up for them seemed to work pretty well in taking back control of that last map.
A quick spawn could just be so deadly if you are able to take up that much real estate right off the bat. And both teams are just
taking their time between the rounds here. They're patiently awaiting the round start. Legionnaires and Pacifists feeling the heat in the series today.
Yeah, this is the map that they got to change their turn stuff around on, because they lost the first map for, and you probably have the scores up. I can't see what you post, but they did lose the first map. They got to win this one if they want to stay in this.
Yeah, they just lost 4-3
Subway.
on Subway. The comeback train is really in full effect right now. Pacifists need to refocus and readjust here. They need to grab a round on defense, get back on the board. It's been 5 unanswered rounds from Legionnaires right now.
We will have mirrored spawn, so no quick spawn for Legionnaires this time, but they will get pretty aggressive with it. Almost right at objective. Actually very lucky that Sana over here hasn't really peeked out around that wall.
Yeah, he's more concerned about the east approach where Vegas got fragged from last time. Legionnaires are not taking any of that routing. They're almost all focused into the center, and I doubt that they'll even push east based off of how they're approaching it, unless Vegas and Mayhow really slowly crawl their way over there.
They're probably going to do that. Legionnaires have been playing pretty slowly.
Well, suppose it's relative. Slow, you know, they're pushing at 230 still. That's fast for some teams, so.
There's some teams out there that just 1 minute is too short.
Few shots from Raider on the north.
Answered back by Jamie.
Bit of a trade going on there as Mayhow's inching his way over to the corner. He'll be challenging Whale shortly as Vegas and Mr. Sirius get ready for an approach of their own. I think the push is going to come in here. Not quite yet. They got to get their north in position. He's a little bit out right there. Raider still way down in the lane trying to deal with Jamie.
Yeah, and Axis Mundi will have a tall order coming in for him with Amazon Express delivery here. He's got 3 members of Legionnaires about to take the one lane that he is watching. And that's going to be really hard because after you shoot the first time, they all know where you are at.
I think Sana knows Mayhow's here on the corner. Mayhow threw a nade and didn't quite get it up over the wall he needed to. Whale's going to get out and get aggressive as he tosses a nade way too far around the corner.
Mayhow goes for the reposition.
A clutch drop back from Mayhow there. If he hadn't dropped back off the corner, he was dead from that really nice airburst, and he would have been dead from Sana peeking here. Ooh, he might have been able to find the exposed angle there. Shots coming in onto the north. Smoke there to distract him. I think this is the push coming in from Legionnaires in the center.
Mundi finds Mr. Sirius, but he has a couple more people he has to worry about still. I don't know if he realizes that. Seems like he does.
Yep.
Vegas is actually right up against that wall that Mundi at least was defending.
Sana catches Mayhow on the east. Shots coming in from the north from Jamie, but the push is here with the 3 remaining Legionnaires, Kagan and Raider. As Rexstar finds one, the trade goes out on the other side, and now it's all up to Kagan into a 1v4. Legionnaires not looking good on this offensive round, as Pacifists just need a final kill to secure them a tie, 1-1.
Oh, Kagan chooses to actually nade it. Rexstar might have put himself in danger, but he doesn't cook it just right. Rexar's life gets spared. Kagan finds Jamie, but then gets tagged by Rexar, giving Pacifist the win.
Nice shot from Rexstar through the window as they tie it up 1-1. KD's across the board, looking pretty good, looking pretty spread.
Oh, yeah, it's always good to see when every member of a team is like, you know, pulling their own weight, and there's no definitive star out there. It's just everyone's doing a good job. As a team captain, I really like to see that.
Frankly, from a esports perspective, I'd love to see a team lean really heavily into one player. and just sort of support them, because you see it in a lot of top tier leagues where you have these players that get traded that are so common, they're so known for being so skilled at the game, and then teams build around that player. I don't think we really see that too often in this game. Maybe it's just not something that's really possible at the top tier of gameplay. But every once in a while, you'll see a one-guy carry in a league match, and that team is just really doing real well. You can put your team on the back of one player. I think maybe it's just too hard to do in a competitive scene.
In a competitive scene, yes, because there's so much people are right when they say the kills don't matter. It's about the strategy, and you can get 4 kills, but one person can get a team wipe. It's like you can have a team of star players, and you'll be a cool team, but maybe they don't get along, or maybe they just don't have the strategy because they rely on their raw skill. Whereas you have teams like Global Chem, who they're a bunch of skilled players, but they also bring in that dominant level of strategy that if you replaced all those players, taught all these new players this strategy, they could probably still be one of the most dominant teams out there. Just a theoretical sense, if you can bear with me when I try to explain my thought process.
Yeah, little out there as we dive into round number 3 of map number 2. Legionnaires and Pacifists duking it out here in this series. It's 4-3 for map 1. And now we're here tied up 1-1 on Bazaar.
We are seeing like a 2-1-2 push coming out here.
Remember, they like to lie down, so don't expect them in common positions.
It's not surprising on this objective. This objective is really good to approach with a surround. Or to overwhelm the objective, I should say. Because you can have there's plenty of spaces where one person can shut down an entire approach, but if that one person has to from multiple sides, it's Jamie ducking from fire coming from the defense.
That was awfully close.
Yeah, he's going to drop back just for the time being while the rest of his team moves forward and advances. Rexar and Whale getting into position to push from the center. And they actually have 2 already on the south. Sana's managed to cross unscathed, as well as Axis Mundi. And like we've been seeing him do quite regularly throughout this whole series, he's now trying to get that south flank down here. I don't know who's defending this.
There are defenders there. It's just they're being really quiet. We got Raider on the other side of Whale here, who's pretty darn close.
Yeah, Whale is doing something interesting here, pushing outside the rest of his team. Whale goes down on OBJ. Out. Yeah, we'll see if anybody rotates to cover objective, as you do see Kagan now shifting around, and he'll take up the objective defense.
Dodging lasers as he goes. And we are seeing both a north and a south push coming out here. The question is, will the coordination come out? We haven't seen, I don't think we've seen any utility really being used so far, so there's a potential for that.
$250 for them to make their move. Jamie going to be running into some action with Vegas here on the west pretty soon as he slowly crawls forward, and Vegas actually drops back. Might open up this entry point for Jamie. The south also starting to get active as the smokes are coming in. Jamie catches Vegas trying to rotate. That's a nice pickup as Mr. Sirius now should be feeling kind of pressured from both sides, as he does have smokes from the south from Mundy and now pushing from Jamie on his west.
The push comes in from Axis. And he finds Mayo.
Kagan goes down on objective by Sana. Now it's all up to Mr. Sirius, who's tucked in from Rexar. I'm surprised Mundy's not going for the cap here. Pacifist.
But he is now.
Finally pulls out the pad. Is he going to be punching it in time? Is Sirius going to realize he's the last one alive? He does. He starts to charge out here, and Mundy punches in the cone just before Mr. Sirius goes down to Rexar's bullets, and the Pacifists take the lead 3-1 on map of their choice.
Yeah, it's always important to know when your friends are gone, so you can run to the objective or die trying to.
He just checked his pad too late. You know, he realized he was the last one alive, but it was about 20 seconds too short. He had to start moving a lot earlier. You just got to kind of be aware when you hear shots from an enemy team, you don't hear shots from your team's guns, that it's very likely you have lost some friendlies.
And the communication aspect coming from Pacifist is clearly there. Like, both sides were moving up right at the same time, and this overwhelming Axis. I don't think he could even really move to the objective at all, just because of the coverage that Pacifist had on it. Like, they had that thing locked down pretty much.
Yeah, they gave up south, I think, and that's really where things started to go wrong. They had nobody holding that south lane at all. They kind of just forfeit that entirely, and yeah, it allowed them to push right in onto objective. We'll see how Pacifists decide to defend for round number. Now you gotta do hard map, Bob.
Yeah, well, this is round number 4 now.
Yep.
I've learned your ways. I am now the master.
I tried to throw you a curveball, but you're prepared, and Pacifists, in a very pacifist style, have a relatively spread out defense. This might, you know, this works well, honestly, against Legionnaires right now because of how they're playing. They're playing it a little bit slow. They're not really rushing. They're not trying to overwhelm an objective per se, and it allows Pacifists to spread out like this.
Soon.
Yeah, right. But I would normally call that defense over on the west pretty risky.
I think I might have got him.
Yeah, you are a little exposed over there, and if
I can't
you
kill,
get,
though.
and if they rush objective, there's no way you're going to be able to get back.
I saw him peek once. Like, if he peeks again, I got him.
Jamie's going to risk crossing here. It is an exposed lane. Doesn't get shot, fortunately enough for him. And now he's, yeah, he's held up that west approach. He just radioed in that he's really just being a distraction.
Legionnaires do know that there is a spread on the defense, making it much easier for them to get the counter cap.
Yeah.
Especially if they could take down everyone on objective, but...
Hey, I got the guy in blue room.
Wow,
Sirius finds
Rexar. Yeah, he was just getting a little over aggressive. Yeah, I don't know why you would really want to peek out of that blue room like that, because you do get super exposed from the angle that Sirius takes here.
And blue room is such a powerful room. If you just hang out in there, you have eyes on almost everywhere that they can possibly cap from.
Yeah.
Oh, I see one in the objective room. One in the objective room. No, I'm out of ammo.
One of the pacifists, I think, got hit, but it wasn't enough to trigger any kind of notification. As Mr. Sirius does find Whale now, bringing it down to a 3v5.
You need ammo?
Thanks.
Smoke's coming out into the mid street here. And a nade, but there was no push for that nade to hit.
A lot of back and forth in the center here. Axis Mundi catches Mr. Sirius trying to cross the street as Raider is really slowly pushing forward. Vegas on the south side grabs Jamie, who had a great angle onto the objective, and now it's up to Sauna to get this frag as he does pick Vegas up in the backside. The push coming in from Legionnaires onto objective, though. Raider's here. So is Kagan. Is Raider going to be ready for Sauna's position? Shots come in onto the pillars, not tagging Raider. He could be pushed into objective and cap right now.
And Sauna is not really rotating,
Yeah.
but now he is, but he's not going fast enough. Raider is tablet out inside. Something really quick here has got to happen. Sauna entering in there, catches Raider, but gets caught up by Kagan, giving Legionnaires the win.
So fortunate there that he did press at the time that he did and managed to catch out the cap that was going on right there. Legionnaires almost with the cap back. And I mean, that was exactly the weakness that I was talking about with that defense, where all you have to do is just focus your attention with the smokes and push up the center, and suddenly those edge defenders don't become so effective, and you just have to focus your kills around objective.
Yeah, and Legionnaires knew that from the get-go because, like we saw before, Jamie exposed himself through that hole in the wall. So Legionnaires are a very smart team. They know that when they see that, they know exactly how to reorient their strat. I think the Pacifists, though, have shown that they are very strong on offense. They can potentially finish it off on this one. This is... I want to say that this objective leans toward the offense a bit. Just because there's a sheer, like, there's an uncountable number of lanes that the defense has to watch out for.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of different angles you got to hold on to. We'll see how Legionnaires set up.
I was talking about this with Noman and I literally in the previous cast on this channel. You have to watch, you have to defend this whole alleyway here. If you lose that, you lose a huge chunk of your defensive area.
I wouldn't be surprised if they gave that up, honestly, the way that they have been defending. You see a lot of teams now taking up a lot more tight angles around the final lane on objective, and we'll see how Legionnaires set up as they go on the defense for round number 5.
They do have mid-street spawn, so this will be a pretty quick one.
Yep.
They're actually choosing to... Words coming out from Jamie. It's fine, go whatever way you want. I love the strategizing.
See Forgan tossed out from Sirius into the mini courtyard. And yeah, they're just going to take some tight angles around objective lane.
There are not that many people watching. Well, there are people watching the south side, but it isn't as covered as it usually is. They're all defending from inside this alleyway. And if the alleyway gets, like, you know, contested remotely, they're going to have to shift their attention and thus give up that coverage.
Pacifists actually playing this one just a touch slower as they inch their way in through the center of the bazaar.
You could say that they're playing it a bit more passively.
Sure could.
I'm surprised we didn't latch on this earlier. Honestly.
Maybe it's part of the mind games that they play with the other team, as Axis Mundi, not being passive, catches Mayhow, who was in a pretty advanced forward position there, and I guess he just barely exposed the toe into that crack, and he got picked off by Mundi, so pretty unfortunate way to go down there on the corner, but a great start for Pacifists.
Yeah, exposing your toe is obscene in this game. in our traditional Western value system. Axis getting the tag on Vegas now, up on that north side. Pretty much clears up. Actually takes off one of the people who's directly defending the objective, putting more pressure on the people who are residing inside this alleyway.
Shots from Jamie in the south. Smokes from Rexar do put Legionnaires on high alert. They are expecting the push. A serious catches Jamie trying to cross. Whale looking for the frag. Rexar goes down. Whale finally does catch him out. Now it's all up to Raider and the lone defender Kagan, who also managed to get Axis Mundi pushing onto the objective. So we're into a 2v2 right now.
With two people resable, and Raider is actually, I'm sorry, Axis is being really quiet. The res does come out making a 2v3 pacifist advantage. And we're probably going to see the pick coming from Kagan here as he confirms Axis.
Yep. Next up is Sana, who's now making his way on the north.
Probably the most optimal approach as of right now is the way Sana was going, but Raider predicted that just as well.
Meanwhile, the trading onto the north happening between Sana and Kagan, so we're into the 1v1s on both sides of the map.
Oh, and Raider finds Rexar.
Oh no, then team kills!
Raider has to rotate back on to cover the position that he took out so expertly.
Almost gets caught off guard too. Wasn't expecting Sana over here, and now realizes that's why Kagan was standing where he was. Now it's up to Raider to deal with Sana. Whale available for callouts if he has any vision there in the lane, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just going to be a 1v1 between Raider and Sana here as they both push the corner.
And Legionnaires have tied it up.
Wow, really close there for Legionnaires. They tried to throw that one a couple of times. Raider nearly giving it to the Pacifists as he took down Kagan to put it into a 1v1, but Legionnaires keeping things, well, pretty dang close as we tied up 3-3 for map number 2. This now is going to be series decider for Legionnaires and a must-win for Pacifists if they want to take it to map 3.
Yes, this is make it or break it for the boys of peace. They must fight to the death to... I lost it. Never mind. Just ignore me. I mean, it's probably one of the more clever names, you know, Pacifist in a game of violence.
Yeah, and their logo is a dove.
Yeah, it's a very violent video game, you know. So it's nice to have.
What happens when...
A moment of zen, you know?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Really good series today, though. If you are just tuning in, you've missed out on a lot of really good back and forth. Yeah, some good caps, some fast-paced action, some slow plays, some slow rolls, some 1v1s, some overwhelming W's. It's really got a little bit of everything in this matchup so far, and I personally, I'd like to see Pacifists able to take this map so we can go to that series decider for map 3, although I'm sure fans of Legionnaires don't want to hear that because this is series decider time. All Legionnaires got to do is take a Marsoc round, but I don't know how easy that's going to be.
Pacifists have been pretty good with their defense. I'd say better than Legionnaires, as Legionnaires have given up the only cap that has happened so far in this game.
Yeah. They almost did get an answer back of a cap, though, themselves.
They almost did, but Pacifists came just in time to at least prevent that.
Yeah.
Not defend it, but prevent it.
The difference between in timing there was 1 point, absolutely. And we have mirrored spawns for Legionnaires, so we'll see how they decide to push this objective with that east spawn down the lane. They're going to take it a little bit slower and a little bit more southernly.
think we're actually seeing a really similar kind of layout to Legionnaires on the Pacifist defense here.
Yeah. Nobody covering that south lane. Sauna really the only one actually that has an angle on that south lane, and it's an interesting one. It's more covering of the courtyard than anything.
The bad news about that is the Legionnaires' push this time is actually from the south.
Yeah.
So a lot of the players for Pacifists, at least on the north side of both the north side of the map and that alleyway, they're both not going to be doing anything when one person's going to be taking the full head of the attack.
We'll see just how Legionnaires decide to approach. I do think that they are probably not going to go far south as a whole unit. It's too open of a lane, I think, and they're going to send probably the Raider and potentially Mayhow and Vegas to push into that mini courtyard area. They do have Kagan also, who does look like he's going to inch his way, potentially over to the north. So maybe just a bit of a slow burn for Legionnaires as they sort of set up for the assessment phase. They're trying to see if anybody's out of position right now.
Okay, guys, when I start tossing smokes, you toss them in the street.
We're seeing Legionnaires really slow down the play style here. I think it's probably the slowest we've seen them so far.
I think this is how they took the last map too. If I do recall, they played that final round pretty slow as well. But Pacifists, not really an antsy team. I do anticipate them to be able to stand their ground as smokes start to come in from Legionnaires.
I think they're using all the utility in the world. I
Yeah.
think Legionnaires really want this cap clean and fast.
Good
They've played
nade.
games long enough.
Nice nade from Jamie. Catches one. Kagan fortunate enough not to get picked in that gap in smoke coverage by Jamie. Now he has his eyes trained there. Jamie looking for another one. He catches Kagan now. Raiders trying to find the frag through the smoke, but can't seem to spot out Jamie.
Legionnaires' own smoke is proving to be their worst enemy. Whale finds Mayo.
Yikes, now all down to Raider. Kagan, the last one alive, is able to be res, but if he goes for this, Sauna has eyes trained here.
A nade might be able to take care of both of their problems here, as Raider tries to go for the res, but then gets caught up by Whale.
Good shots there and a good aggressive push for Pacifists to finish off the round and grab themselves the map. Now, it looks like our caster dreams and probably spectator dreams are coming true as we go into that series decider for map 3. And it is going to be Legionnaires' map pick.
Now, we've seen Legionnaires before pick Subway, which is actually a strong map for Pacifists
Yeah.
as well.
Whoa. I like this. This is going to be a fun one
Oh,
to
me too.
keep the eyes on. Map number 3 is going to be Cargo.
Cargo is always a looker.
I mean, talk about it in a series deciding sense too, and how close this has been.
Yeah.
This should be a pretty wild Cargo round. I do anticipate some rushes, some slow plays. I mean, anything really is on the table for this final map. But we were talking, Legionnaires don't have, I mean, win percentage on Cargo, 43%. Not exactly the highest. They just have a ton of experience on it, so maybe that's where they feel comfortable with it.
Maybe, but this is their pick. Maybe they just feel like that they could take on this team in a close quarters map, you know? Just how you feel. It's like you've had 2 maps to feel up this team.
I just wonder if they've gotten a good sense of how the Pacifists play, because it's definitely been the Pacifists, you know, working Legionnaires quite a lot. Legionnaires have been consistently trying to come back against the Pacifists in the last 2 maps, and curious to see what we'll see in this final one. I expect a lot of back and forth, probably another 3-3 finale.
Yeah, and that seems to have been the trend here. Legionnaires just know how to bring it back from whatever the pacifists throw at them.
Yeah. I want to talk about a dead heat, though. Total score 7-7. Both 4-3 apiece. And now we'll see just how they're going to duke it out on cargo for our final map as we dive into round 1 for map 3.
Whale just chilling that blue container. Come on, guys. Last one, and then we go home for dinner.
Brotherly love there on the pacifist side as Rexar and Wales hug it out before getting into the defensive action.
You got to get that last hug in before, you know, you go to battle. You never know if you're going to come back.
There's always a danger. A lot of pre-fire there from Kagan and Vegas with his eyes trained on that lane as well. So they had 2 guns waiting for pacifists to try and cross, and fortunately enough for pacifists, they didn't opt for any smokes or any crossing of the street there. That is a lot of information, though. You know that that nobody is on that whole half of the map,
Yeah.
and that's where objective is.
They are holding that down so well and preventing people from getting the move over. Now, the question is, will they be able to cycle any of their own forces over to that side in order to be able to force pacifists to either make a move or let them get the cap?
Vegas and Kagan are going to be able to cross, not safely, as Rexar catches him
finds
down.
El Vegas on the right-hand side, probably making his move.
Nice pickup there. Kagan sort of trapped now inside as he's trying to find Rexar and the refrag, but I don't think he's going to get the angle from inside that doorway there.
Rocket of a nade lands right on objective. If this was golf, that'd be hole-in-one, but there was no one there, and this is not golf.
This is Onward, and this is the series-deciding map. And an interesting defense from Pacifists is they have all stacked the crates instead of trying to send one across to objective side. They're all staying here in the middle, and they do have Axis, who's also watching an interesting angle, you know, way through the doorway, underneath the crate door. He's putting a long range here between these shots. I wonder if he'll find that angle onto Raider.
He might have his opportunity real soon. It looks like Raider's considering going around to that tunnel side. Raider finds Jamie, actually, who's hiding underneath that crate, but I guess his feet were a little exposed and gave it away.
Oh, and Rexar turns at the worst time as Raider continues his push. He's taking down a few. Axis misses the shot onto the toes of Raider, and now 4 here stacked up into the center, going up against the 2, Whale and Axis Mundi.
Oh, what a nice flash on Furious.
Raiders trying to drop back in time. Mundy's looking for the shots down the crate. Can't quite get him. Mayhal finds the frag as he tries to exit the doorway, and now we're into a 1v2 all up to Whale.
2 minutes and 40 left in the round. There is time for Whale to work around something, but he has to babysit an objective now that he is a man. He's the only one left, actually. He's actually choosing to go ahead and completely defend. What he might be using the objective as kind of like a lure. He's moving around
Quite a
a
bit.
lot in places that are not really well defended. He has no cover outside there. But he tags Mayho.
Oh, re-peeking this is so risky. He goes for the confirm, and now what's he trying to do? I would say drop back, go back to the other side of objective. Redefend. Shots come in, don't quite down him, and now he's going to go for the firefight. Can't land the shots to the double great.
We'll go to different... There is no one else there.
I think he knows Raider's waiting for that, which is actually a pretty intelligent move from Wales. But now he is going to cross the angle. The shots. Oh, Raider just peeks away at the wrong time, but then refocuses, and Legionnaires take a Marsoc round. Yeah, I think it's the first time they've taken the lead.
It's the first time they've taken the lead off the bat.
Yeah. Not had to come back from it.
Yeah.
I think they won the first round of Bazaar, too.
You may be right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Either way, they are in the lead, and now on this final map, 1-2-0. And it's a Marsoc round on cargo, nonetheless, so definitely a good start for Legionnaires.
Yeah, that objective can be pretty hard to attack at times, just because there's so many places where the defense can just go hunkered down. But there's also a really interesting strat how Pacifists went about their defense of just ignoring objective and just securing all the lanes leading to the objective instead. Surprisingly didn't get capped on.
Yeah, they're fortunate enough that those smokes had a gap in the coverage on the when they were trying to cross to get over towards objective side. So I think if those smokes had been there, it would have been a little bit more difficult for them to defend. But either way, a good hold. We'll see how Pacifists decide to defend as we get down into round 2.
Now the question is, will they use all utility at the start and just go for the quick cap? Or are they going to try to slug it out midway through the map? Just work their way up slowly like Legionnaires did. Free fire coming out in order to deny the lane, but it doesn't work as 2 members of Legionnaires do get over to the objective. The third one actually does too as well.
They want Mr. Serious in the corner, but Axis Monday wants to deny him, and the C4 toss gets rushed and botched. Down goes Serious for an insta-kill on himself.
Not the kind of C4 thing you want to have.
No.
That is technical difficulty in its finest.
A couple of key pickups here for Pacifists. Open up objective just a bit more. Axis Mundy's inching his way forward, and the rest of the team's pushing into the center with 5 on the clock still.
All the time in the world, the smokes are coming out, applying the pressure on the Legionnaires. That smoke's actually really good because it allows Axis to make a move across the check on, or basically to check where Raider is, potentially get that pickup without having to be worried about Mayho.
I think that smoke's going to do more to deny vision of that entire push. He can now get up into that lane if he wants to. Mundy catching Raider is huge, because now if he does get in past the pre-fire of Mayhow, he has an opportunity at capping objective as more smokes come in. Vegas goes down to Jamie. The push coming on the backside from Sana might find this final kill for Pacifist and put them up 1-0 as it does.
They probably could have capped there if they just held their cool.
Yeah, they were definitely looking at a cap opportunity. They had the right coverage on smokes.
Good coverage on smokes. They had Maho completely locked down. They had him surrounded, and they were just kind of toying with him at the end.
Yep.
We're seeing a bit of a map, or I'm sorry, a Marsoc bias here now.
Yeah. Not exactly going in the Volk favor. 2 rounds Marsoc here. Yeah, well, curious to see how Pacifists switch up the... I mean, you can see there's a lot of different defensive strategies. You know, you can decide to get aggressive on the defense, push up into the center of that map area, get a little bit more forward coverage, kind of maybe take the offense to the offense in a sense. But it's a risky strat, so I'm curious if it'll be broken out today for this. I mean, this is the series decider.
Yeah, and it's another thing that might be interesting to see on Pacifist defense. We've seen that they get pretty liberal with their defenses, but this is probably the objective to defend. This is the objective where if a cap's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Round number 3. Map number 3. Threes across the board.
Mr. Serious finds well, but Rexers gets Mr. Serious on the refrag. Jamie's tossing out, I believe that's a frag grenade. Nice airburst, but a little too far.
Raiders
And
here.
Raiders on objective. He has tablet out.
Oh
Sauna's
my
not
goodness. The nade does come in, and it catches Sauna. A nice toss. Up and over. Oh, yeah, Raiders. Sorry, from Sauna. Yeah, that was a nice toss from Sauna. And here comes the push from Pacifist. After finding a few kills, they take down Mayhel. Sauna charges forward, takes down Kagan in a trade. And now it's all up to Vegas. In a 3v1.
This might a very good strategy. Wait for the team to go in, use a lot of resources trying to go for that cap, punish them for after doing that, and then just go out and run over all their stuff. Vegas is a very methodical player, but I don't know if he can potentially pull off a triple kill. And he's 1/3 of the way there, but oh.
No! He went to go grab a syringe and didn't drop his rifle and shot himself instead of grabbing the syringe.
I think he would have been pretty messed up anyway.
Yeah, there's a nade right on top of him. But
yeah, that was a really good bounced nade. It was like everything about that nade was perfect. So even though whoever tossed that nade did not get the pleasure of seeing the red skull by Vegas's face, in our caster spirit, it's there.
yeah,
At least in mine.
we did see it happen.
Vegas gets to see the skull behind his own face, though. Always make sure the gun is pointed in a safe direction. Namely, at the pacifist's face.
You're in the heat of the action. Sometimes it's hard to really quickly... I don't think I've seen that happen.
Gun safety is very important, even in video games.
I don't think I've seen someone shoot themselves trying to grab a syringe.
Well, you know, in the end, there's not too much of a difference. You're sticking metal inside. Just one a little bit more violent than the other, you know?
Like you said, the NATO's definitely going to catch him out anyway. So the Pacifists do have a deserving 2-1 lead now. I mean, they could be thinking about cap on this objective if they get the right smokes, the right kills. It's definitely one that somehow ends up becoming so exposed with defenses, you know, just the way they're set up. We'll see. It can also really backfire against you, as you sort of saw there as Pacifists pushed out and denied Legionnaires a cap opportunity.
Yeah, and the question is, will Legionnaires do the same thing that the Pacifists did, which is punish people when they're close to objective and then spread out and just control the map? Or will they just try to push out, prevent the cap from even happening in the remote first place? Or
Whew. What a series. There's going to be more action here on this channel about an hour or so after, about 2 hours from now. So if you do want to catch more league action, it's going to be delivered to you.
Yeah. We have a lot of games today.
Yeah, I think we have also a cast on Master League 3 after this as well. So a lot of, like we said,
From me.
Yeah, like we said, a lot of games going on.
Hey man, I gotta market myself in.
I guess. I certainly don't do it very well, apparently, as we get into round number 4.
And Smoke immediately going on escape. Skate gets caught up by Sauna.
Raider redirecting a smoke that was right on top of him, but it's a little too late as Sonic
That is
did manage to get across.
Actually, a very incredible pick as Whale is now inside the capping container. But he actually chooses not to go for objective.
Yeah, interesting routing from Whale there. Not sure why he didn't look for the cap
Axis is
opportunity.
memorizing the code. He's in the container now. He's capping as we speak.
No,
I think
he's
no,
not.
he's not.
Now he's got
He
the
is
pad
now.
out. Still not trying to enter in the code here. Looking for kills. Now pulls pad, then back to gun. So indecisive.
Man,
it's costing him the
down
cap
to
here.
He actually chooses not to cap from the safety of the door. Vegas is gonna punish, but Sauna actually protects him, and Pacifists get the cap.
I don't know what was happening that entire time. I'm not sure why he didn't push. There was a lot. He saw a person on objective. I saw the laser of one of the Volk right on top of him as he entered in the code, but somehow Pacifist managed to get the cap underneath the nose of Legionnaires and take the entire series.
Yeah. What an upset. And they only gave Legionnaires 1 point on this match, which means that they have a relatively definitive MMR difference. I'm sorry, not a point difference. I'm sorry, I should say that.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
an
8 to 11 is a decent spread. It's going to be a nice little MMR boost for the Pacifists. I think they may be moving into gold territory after taking this against Legionnaires, and definitely deservedly, because that was a very strong performance from them. Also from Legionnaires, just an overall great couple of rounds, so I'm glad we were able to tune in and catch them.
Yes.
I think we will be signing off with that. There is going to be action on more channels later on today, so be sure to tune into that, but it'll be it for us here on Master League 1 for now. If you want to get more action, head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward. You can register for a team, join the Discord, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitch. All the links are right there at the palm of your hand. Just head to vrmasterleague.com/onward. With that, we'll be signing out. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, my co-caster Todd Havercorn, and we will see you later today.